the intoxicating aroma of cinnamon intertwined with the rich scent of brewed coffee once wrapped around me like a warm embrace, a fleeting solace in a world of chaos. Now, with every whiff that invades my senses, I recoil in horror. What was meant to be a tranquil morning, shattered into chaos. As I cradled the steaming cup of coffee in my hands, a bittersweet comfort washed over me, a fleeting moment of solace in a house that had turned into a hollow shell, no longer resonating with the warmth of belonging. My son Daniel stormed into the kitchen, his girlfriend following closely, a mere spectre in his wake. Her name was Brielle, a tempest of youth, style, and a razor-sharp tongue that could cut through the silence like a knife through flesh. Her gaze pierced through me, a cold, unyielding stare, as if I were nothing more than a lost creature, abandoned and unwanted, lurking at her table, begging for scraps of attention. "Mum," Daniel burst forth, his voice slicing through the morning silence, not even a hint of a greeting. "Brielle needs a few things, and we're taking your credit card for it. Is that all right?" My gaze shot upwards, a jolt of disbelief coursing through me. "My credit card? For what?" I ask. What twisted fate has led us to this moment of despair and confusion? The air thick with tension, the silence deafening, as the question hangs like a dark cloud overhead, waiting to unleash its storm. For what, indeed? The answer eludes us, slipping through our fingers like grains of sand, leaving only the bitter taste of uncertainty in its wake. Brielle's eyes darted skyward, a dramatic sigh escaping her lips as she succumbed to the weight of the moment. Only a handful of matters to address. The fabric of existence, a rendezvous with destiny at the salon. It's merely a trifling matter, nothing to lose sleep over. I blinked, the world around me shattering into 1,000 fragments of disbelief. Could this truly be unfolding before my very eyes? "Daniel," I said. I declared, my voice steady, yet laced with an undercurrent of tension. A wave of unease washes over me, a chilling whisper in the depths of my soul. I cannot, I will not, embrace that unsettling notion. He let out a heavy sigh, echoing with the weight of the world. "Is this for real? It's hardly anything at all." "We shall repay you, mark my words." "You haven't paid me back for last time," I reminded him, my voice laced with tension, the air thick with unspoken accusations. "And that was for groceries. Can you believe it?" The mundane transformed into the extraordinary in a heartbeat. His face twisted in disbelief. It was as if a heavy curtain had fallen, shrouding everything in darkness. In an instant, my precious boy vanished, replaced by a stranger who stood before me, a chilling spectre in his place. "Please, don't turn this into a spectacle," he implored, his voice trembling with urgency. "I'm not," I declared, my voice a whisper laced with an undercurrent of tension. "But I shall never surrender my credit card to you." In the heavy stillness that enveloped the room, a tension crackled like electricity. Then, with a piercing scoff that shattered the silence, Brielle's voice rang out, bold and unmistakable. Oh, the betrayal! How could he possibly stay when faced with such a reality? The very foundation of your union crumbled before your eyes. You're a miser, clinging to your coins with a grip so tight it could crush steel. That wound ran deep, slicing through the very fabric of my soul. I averted my gaze, battling the surge of tears threatening to spill over. Daniel approached the counter, his eyes locked onto my purse, a silent tension hanging in the air. He tore it open, defying all boundaries, without a single word of permission. "Daniel!" I screamed. "Put it back!" In that very moment, everything changed. With a sudden, violent motion, he seized the steaming mug of coffee I had just crafted, spun on his heel, and hurled it towards me with reckless abandon. The searing splash struck with a vengeance, searing my neck, chest, and arm in a fiery embrace. A sharp gasp escaped my lips as the warmth seeped through my shirt, a chilling reminder of the agony that gripped me. I fell to my knees, my hands gripping my flesh as if it were slipping away, the weight of despair crashing down upon me. In an instant, the agony struck like a lightning bolt, piercing through the calm with a ferocity that left no room for doubt. "What in the world are you doing?" I let out a blood-curdling scream. Brielle's laughter echoed, a haunting melody that pierced the silence, reverberating through the air like a thunderclap, wild and unrestrained. Daniel stood there, gasping for breath, his face flushed and body quaking with tension. With a voice that pierced the air, he bellowed, "Hand over the cash or leave this place." I stood there, paralyzed, as the world around me spun into chaos. He truly meant it. That house. It looms like a dark spectre, whispering secrets of despair and dread. Shadows dance across its weathered facade, each creak of the floorboards echoing the haunting tales of those who dared to enter. What horrors lie within its walls? What tragedies have unfolded in the silence of its rooms? The air thickens with tension, as if the very essence of the place is alive, waiting, watching. In the aftermath of my shattered marriage, I made the bold decision to acquire it. In a moment of vulnerability, I opened my home to Daniel, believing his pleas for assistance were genuine. I poured my heart and soul into his education, lavished him with clothes, and even covered the cost of his car insurance. And now? The air hangs heavy with anticipation, a silence so profound it feels as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for the next act to unfold. What is this? Silence enveloped the room, heavy and suffocating. I stood there, my lips sealed, refusing to utter another word. I rose to my feet, my chest ablaze with the lingering sting, and made my way to my room, each step heavy with the weight of unspoken turmoil. With a heart pounding like thunder, I threw together a solitary bag barely enough for a fleeting escape. I stepped through the threshold, the door creaking ominously behind me, and I dared not glance back, for fear of what I might leave behind. There shall be no pleas, no disputes, no weeping before their gaze. With a heart pounding like a drum, I summoned a cab and vanished into the night. In the stillness, a hush envelops the air, as if the world holds its breath, waiting for the next heartbeat of fate to unfold. Under the dim glow of flickering neon lights, I found myself ensnared in the haunting embrace of a small roadside motel on that fateful first night. It was a realm of chaos, a sanctuary of shadows where cleanliness dared not tread. Safety was but a fleeting illusion, yet amidst the turmoil, an eerie silence reigned supreme. And silence was the only balm I craved. My gaze fell upon the blisters, grotesque and pulsating, rising ominously on my skin. With trembling hands I had doused the searing burns in icy water before my departure, yet the agony lingered, a relentless reminder of my torment. What cut deeper than any wound was the searing sting of betrayal. I brought that boy into this world, nurtured him, shaped him every moment a battle, every lesson a scar. He is my creation, my legacy, and the weight of that truth hangs heavy in the air. I poured my soul into his hands, offering every fragment of my being, every ounce of love I possessed. In the wake of his father's departure, I toiled through relentless double shifts, each hour a testament to my struggle. I sacrificed my own sustenance, ensuring he had everything he required. In a heart-wrenching twist of fate, I parted with my wedding ring, a symbol of love and commitment, to secure his future with a university deposit. And this was the gratitude I received: scalding coffee and the looming spectre of eviction. My phone erupted with a sudden buzz, shattering the silence like a thunderclap in the night. It was a chilling message from my neighbour, Mrs. Patel. That sent shivers down my spine. She exclaimed, "Is everything all right?" My heart raced as I witnessed two mysterious figures stealthily hauling belongings out of your house just moments ago. Who are these enigmatic figures lurking in the shadows? I dialed her number without a moment's hesitation, my heart racing with urgency. "Mrs. Patel, what horrors did your eyes behold?" They possessed a van, a vessel of secrets and untold stories, lurking in the shadows of their lives. Daniel was nowhere to be found. But there she stood. A girl, perhaps his girlfriend, commanding their every move with an intensity that sent shivers down spines. It appeared as though they were in the midst of a frantic exodus, hastily shoving furniture out the door, as if the very walls were closing in around them. A lump surged in my throat, a harbinger of the storm brewing within. Not only did he cast me out, but he was ruthlessly stripping the house bare. Something deep within me shattered, a fracture echoing through my very soul. That house bore my name, a haunting reminder of what once was. Every single payment bled from my account, a relentless drain that left me gasping for financial air. And now they were treating it like a stage for their chaotic rendezvous. At the break of dawn, I seized my phone, my heart racing, and dialed my lawyer with a sense of urgency that could not be ignored. "Marie," he uttered with a warmth that belied the storm brewing beneath the surface. "We have traversed this treacherous ground before. In a twist of fate, you insisted on preserving the house under both your names, driven by the looming shadows of tax implications. It was the biggest mistake of my life," I whispered, the weight of regret heavy on my heart. "Ah, but lo and behold, the deed still bears your name, a haunting reminder of what once was. We must seize the moment with urgency. Are you ready to embark on this tumultuous journey?" "Start it," I commanded, my voice slicing through the air, cold and unyielding. "I demand the return of my house, through the law's fierce embrace." He halted, the weight of the moment crashing down around him. "We can plunge into the abyss of possibility. Eviction papers?" The very thought sends shivers down the spine, a harbinger of chaos and despair lurking just beyond the door. A life upended, dreams shattered, and the relentless march of time bearing down with merciless urgency. What fate awaits those who dare to confront such a grim reality? Restructure ownership? Is it really a total asset freeze? Do you dare me to unveil it all? I plunged forward without a moment's pause. Indeed. In the days that followed, I found myself stepping into a temporary apartment, its walls whispering secrets of the city's pulse, just a heartbeat away from downtown. In a moment charged with tension, I found myself face to face with my lawyer. He moved like a lightning bolt, swift and precise, leaving no room for hesitation. In a whirlwind of chaos and urgency, he managed to snatch a temporary injunction against Daniel in less than 72 hours. Thus, the fate of the property hung in the balance, shackled by the looming spectre of a court hearing where no alterations could dare to tread until the gavel fell. In a bold move, we unleashed the storm of ownership reallocation, laying bare the shocking tales of abuse and the heart-wrenching destruction of property that demanded justice. In a moment that shattered the calm, I took the bold step of filing a police report for the physical assault that had left me reeling. Photos of the burns lay before me, a haunting testament to the agony endured. With the weight of the medical bill from the pharmacy in my hands, I clutched my neighbour's statement. Her words echoing in my mind, she had seen strangers, shadowy figures, brazenly stripping my home of its very essence. My lawyer, in a twist of fate, summoned a private security firm, shrouded in mystery and tension. In a heart-stopping twist of fate, they changed the locks. As the week drew to a close, Daniel remained blissfully unaware that the very house he had so callously cast me from was now stripped of his ownership, a mere shadow of his former claim. Then, the fateful day arrived. Daniel returned home, the weight of the world heavy on his shoulders, as shadows danced ominously around him. It was likely after a tumultuous weekend at Brielle's friend's place, where secrets whispered in the shadows and tensions simmered just beneath the surface. He ascended the porch, a facade of normalcy cloaking his every step, until the moment of truth shattered the illusion his key refused to turn. He rang the bell, a sound that echoed through the silence, shattering the stillness like glass. The air thickened with tension, each chime a harbinger of the chaos that was about to unfold. Silence reigned supreme. He slammed his fist against the door, a thunderous echo reverberating through the silence, demanding attention, demanding answers. Silence, an abyss of emptiness, a void that echoes with the weight of unspoken words. Nothingness reigns supreme, a chilling reminder of what once was and what could never be. Suddenly, his gaze fell upon the enigmatic figure clad in a suit, lurking ominously in the shadows of the living room window. In the midst of chaos, a serene presence emerges, unwavering and poised, embodying the essence of professionalism. The air thick with tension, yet this figure stands resolute, a beacon of composure in a storm of uncertainty. Daniel stumbled backward, his heart racing as the weight of the moment crashed down upon him. "What on earth is happening?" He must have asked, didn't he? With a creak that echoed through the silence, the man swung the door open, revealing the unknown that lay beyond. "How may I assist you in this moment of need?" he declared, his voice trembling with intensity. "Behold, this is the sanctuary I call my own, a fortress of dreams and secrets untold." In a moment of explosive fury, Daniel shattered the silence. The man, with a furrowed brow and trembling hands, opened the file, revealing secrets that could shatter lives and alter destinies forever. "Is it truly you, Daniel Rivers?" "Indeed. You've been served." The moment hangs heavy in the air, a thunderous declaration that echoes through the silence, sending shivers down your spine. The stakes have never been higher, and the tension crackles like electricity. What will you do next? As of this very moment, your status as a legal resident here has been irrevocably stripped away. What in the world are you even saying? You must, without delay, consult your mother's attorney. Daniel's jaw fell slack, disbelief etched across his face. The man in the suit, cloaked in mystery, was no mere stranger after all. He stood as my legal champion, a figure cloaked in the weight of justice, ready to battle for my cause. Meanwhile, I stood there, a silent witness to the chaos unraveling before my eyes. No, not face to face. But lo and behold, the cameras were installed just a day prior. As Daniel's voice pierced the air, a tempest of emotions swirling around him, Brielle's anxious footsteps echoed in the shadows behind. Suddenly, my phone erupted with a flurry of alerts, each one a harbinger of chaos. As I perched on the edge of my modest apartment bed, the steam from my cup of tea curled into the air, a fleeting moment of solace in a world that felt increasingly chaotic. "It is not coffee. Never again." The weight of those words hangs in the air, a promise forged in the fires of betrayal and despair. The echoes of the past reverberate, a haunting reminder that some lines, once crossed, can never be uncrossed. A vow, a declaration, a desperate plea, never again shall I endure this torment. And I leaned in close, my voice barely a breath, whispering to myself in the shadows of my own mind. "Hand over the cash or face the consequences. How tragically ironic that you failed to heed your own counsel." Daniel lingered at the threshold, his heart pounding, utterly bewildered by the scene before him. He blinked repeatedly, as if his very eyes were conspiring against him, distorting reality into a surreal nightmare. "Is this some kind of twisted joke?" he whispered under his breath, desperation clawing at his throat as he wrestled with the door once more. Sealed tight, a barrier against the world outside. Absolutely not. Silence enveloped the space, a haunting stillness that echoed with unspoken dread. "Mother." He dared to call. "Mom. If this is some twisted form of revenge, I demand you open the door." But I was absent, lost in the shadows of fate. I stood across town, my eyes glued to the screen, witnessing the unfolding chaos through the lens of my phone. Last week, I took a bold step and installed 2 small indoor cameras, one glaring into the living room, the other vigilantly positioned by the front door, silently watching, waiting. He was utterly oblivious to that shocking truth. Little did he know, I had swiftly seized the reins of my existence, reclaiming what was rightfully mine. With an air of chilling composure, James Westwood, the man in the suit, emerged into the world beyond the door. With a swift motion, he tightened his tie, locking eyes with Daniel, a storm brewing in the depths of their gaze. "I'm not your mother," he thundered, his voice echoing with a mix of defiance and despair. "Behold, I stand as her legal champion, the guardian of her rights in this tumultuous arena of justice. And as the sun rose this morning, the weight of destiny fell upon her shoulders. This property now belongs to her alone, a realm under her absolute command." Daniel's jaw fell open in disbelief. "What in the world are you even saying?" "Here, in this very place, I exist. For more than a year, I have called this place home." James's voice dripped with an icy calmness, a chilling contrast to the storm brewing within. "Correction. Against all odds, you chose to remain here, defying the whispers of fate. You were never a legal tenant. The truth hangs heavy in the air, a revelation that shatters the very foundation of your existence. How could it be? The walls echo with the weight of this betrayal, leaving you gasping for breath in the suffocating silence of deceit. You have evaded the shackles of rent, unscathed and unrepentant, and you unleashed a storm of physical violence upon the very owner of that property. Daniel's eyes darted around, a palpable tension hanging in the air, as if he were bracing for an unseen assailant to leap from the shadows and shout, "Gotcha!" Brielle, her arms defiantly crossed, stood beside him, a storm brewing in her eyes. This is utterly insane. How dare you cast someone aside like that? Oh, but we can, James declared, his voice echoing with an intensity that sent shivers down the spine. Behold! Your name is conspicuously absent from the deed, the lease, and even the utilities. A shocking revelation awaits. That credit card you attempted to wield, a phantom not belonging to you. That car you're driving, oh, the secrets it holds, the stories it could tell. A mere vehicle, or a vessel of fate. What lies beneath its polished exterior? The tension is palpable, the stakes higher than ever. Inscribed in her name, a declaration of ownership that echoes with the weight of destiny. With a trembling hand, he thrust the manila folder into Daniel's grasp, the weight of unspoken secrets hanging heavily in the air. Within those walls lay the essence of existence itself, images capturing the searing mark upon my chest, the harrowing account of the police report, the signed statement of my neighbour, a document that holds secrets and whispers of truth, lies before me, a testament to the unfolding drama that surrounds us. Documents of legal ownership, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. With trembling hands, Daniel turned the pages, each one a haunting revelation waiting to be uncovered. His face drained of all colour, a ghostly pallor overtaking him as the weight of the moment crashed down like a thunderous storm. "You're serious," he whispered, disbelief lacing his voice. "You must seek refuge elsewhere, for this place is not meant for you. And you have a mere 48 hours to gather your personal belongings, or face the unimaginable consequences that await." Watched over with an intensity that sends shivers down the spine. 2 hours later, a message pierced through the silence, shattering the stillness of the moment, from the depths of Daniel's soul. "Forgive me. I never intended to cross that line. Shall we engage in a conversation?" Silence enveloped the moment, a heavy shroud of unspoken words. I chose not to reply. For years I had poured every ounce of my being into that boy, leaving nothing untouched, nothing unshared. Every single coin, stripped bare, laid out for all to see. Every ounce of love, a tempest of passion, swirling in the depths of the heart, igniting a fire that cannot be contained. Every fleeting moment of redemption hangs in the balance. At this very moment, desperation clawed at my soul, a relentless storm of chaos swirling around me. I craved the elusive embrace of tranquility, a sanctuary from the tumult that threatened to consume me whole. The following day, an unexpected visitor arrived, shrouded in mystery and tension, from the depths of Brielle. She burst into the lawyer's office, uninvited and unyielding, a storm of emotions swirling around her. I was there, in the heart of the storm, where shadows danced and whispers echoed through the air, a witness to the unravelling of fate itself. In a tense moment, the paperwork lay before us, the weight of decisions hanging in the air as I faced James, the clock ticking ominously in the background. As she stepped through the door, the air crackled with tension. In a world where the mundane meets the extraordinary, a simple piece of chewing gum lies in wait, a silent witness to the unfolding drama of life. Its vibrant colours beckon, promising a burst of flavour that could ignite the most ordinary of moments into a whirlwind of sensation. Will it be a source of comfort or a catalyst for chaos? The stage is set, and the tension is palpable, and donning sunglasses even in the dim light of the room, I yearn to converse with the enigmatic woman who holds the spotlight, the one whose presence electrifies the air around her. She uttered those words with a sweetness that belied the storm brewing beneath the surface. As if the sands of time had woven our destinies together, we stood there, two souls entwined in a tapestry of shared memories, like old friends reunited in a moment suspended between the past and the present. With a sudden surge of determination, James rose to his feet, the air thick with tension. Alas, you find yourself uninvited, a mere shadow in the grand tapestry of this gathering. You are not on the visitor list. Brielle, with a defiant flick of her hair, cast him aside and fixed her gaze upon me, the tension crackling in the air. Did you really think it would come to this? You could have stopped before it spiraled out of control. Why, oh why, did you not simply confront Daniel? The air thick with unspoken words, the tension crackling like electricity between you two. A conversation could have unraveled the chaos, yet here we stand, on the precipice of regret. He has been engulfed in a tempest of stress, a relentless storm that rages within him. In a moment of unrestrained fury, the boiling coffee soared through the air, a scalding testament to the chaos within. Stress, that relentless beast, does not grant the right to unleash such fury upon the very one who nurtured you. A mother, a figure of love, now a target of rage. What madness drives one to such extremes? I uttered in a whisper, the weight of my words hanging in the air like a fragile thread, ready to snap at any moment. But oh, the clarity of it all. Her smile, devoid of warmth, cut through the air like a chilling whisper. He is consumed by regret. He weeps, the shadows of the night enveloping him, tears cascading down his face like a torrential storm, echoing the anguish that grips his heart. Excellent. He can endure that burden. For now, I proclaimed. She clicked her tongue, a sharp sound slicing through the tension in the air. Oh, how you strut about, as if you've claimed a grand triumph. Absolutely not, I proclaimed, rising to my feet. This is not a victory. Behold, a daring rescue mission unfolds before our very eyes. In a moment of sheer defiance, I rise from the ashes of my own despair. I am the hero of my own tumultuous saga, clawing my way back to life, reclaiming my destiny with every ounce of strength I possess. This is my audacious escape, my triumphant return to the light. Brielle's face twisted in a whirlwind of emotions then. The mask slipped, revealing the truth beneath a truth so raw, so unrelenting. It sent shivers down the spine of all who dared to witness it. With a sudden, electrifying intensity, she leaned in and hissed, her words slicing through the air like a dagger. Oh, how you revel in the power you wield over him. This is the heart of the matter. The very essence of it all. Absolutely not. I dared to meet her gaze. At long last, I have shattered the chains of control that bound me, reclaiming my power with a fierce determination. With a heavy heart, James guided her through the door, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. With a heavy heart, she etched her final words upon the door, a haunting farewell that echoed in the silence of the night. Mark my words, you will come to rue this moment. Daniel's heart is a fortress, and you, my dear, are the unwelcome intruder. Forgiveness, a distant dream, lost in the shadows of betrayal. That fateful night, tears streamed down my face, a torrent of sorrow unleashed, not because I harboured any regrets, but because, in the depths of my soul, I sensed that something had shattered, irreparably, into a million jagged pieces. Daniel was my one and only child, the light of my life, the very essence of my being. Who could have foreseen that our fate would twist into this tragic tableau? There I stand, a solitary figure on one side of the courtroom, the air thick with tension and uncertainty. Him standing there, a figure cloaked in mystery, the tension palpable in the air. But then again, the shadows whisper secrets, and the air thickens with unspoken tension. Never in my wildest dreams did I foresee him casting me aside for Brielle, and it pained me deeply to take that action. But then, the silence shattered like glass, leaving an unsettling tension hanging in the air. In a world teetering on the brink of chaos, it was James who took the reins of the household, a solitary figure amidst the storm, wielding authority with a fierce determination that left no room for doubt. With a heavy heart and a storm of emotions swirling around them, Daniel and Brielle stepped through the imposing gates, their fate hanging in the balance, as security granted them access to reclaim their belongings. Yet, it was merely garments and personal belongings that remained. In a heart-stopping moment, they made their audacious move to seize the television. Denied. The final word, echoing through the silence like a thunderclap, shattering hopes and dreams in an instant. In a desperate attempt, they lunged for the bedroom dresser, their hearts racing as they struggled against its stubborn weight, the air thick with tension and unspoken fears. Rejected. The final word echoes through the silence, a thunderclap of despair that shatters hope into a million pieces. In a shocking twist of betrayal, they dared to unplug the fridge, brazenly asserting ownership over what was never theirs to claim. Rejected with a finality that echoes through the silence, a heart-wrenching blow that leaves no room for hope. I sat in silence, my eyes glued to the screen of my phone, absorbing every moment with bated breath. On the fateful final day of their access window, Daniel, with trembling hands, left a note on the kitchen counter, a silent testament to the chaos that was about to unfold. It was inscribed. Fury coursed through my veins, igniting a tempest within me. I've made a grave mistake. Yet here I stand, your son, unyielding and defiant. Silence enveloped the moment, a heavy shroud of unspoken words hanging in the air. I stood there, paralyzed, my lips sealed tight, refusing to break the tension. The weight of my non-response echoed louder than any answer could have. Some wounds demand the cruel passage of time, a relentless torment that stretches the very fabric of our souls. Some must retreat into the shadows, craving the solace of separation. In the midst of chaos, I embarked on a tumultuous journey to reconstruct the shattered remnants of my existence. In a bold stroke of fate, I transformed the very essence of the living room with a fresh coat of paint. In a moment of decisive clarity, the charred remnants of the mug were cast aside, banished from existence. I acquired new garments, each thread a defiant whisper against the echoes of anguish that once clung to me. In a desperate bid for solace, I found myself stepping into the shadows of a local support group, a gathering of souls bound by the heart-wrenching pain of estrangement from their children. It was a lifeline, a flicker of hope in the darkest of times. As the haunting echoes of their tales filled the air, a flicker of solace ignited within me, shattering the suffocating isolation that had long gripped my heart. In a heart-wrenching revelation, a mother stood before the world, her voice trembling with despair as she disclosed the unimaginable betrayal. Her own daughter had drained her retirement account, leaving her future hanging by a thread. In a heart-wrenching twist of fate, another revealed that her own son had taken the drastic step of changing the locks on her home, leaving her in a state of disbelief and despair. Pain is not a battlefield where one measures wounds against another's scars. Yet, amidst the chaos, a flicker of solace emerges. You're not alone in this tumultuous journey. Suddenly, a thunderous knock echoed through the silence, shattering the stillness of the moment. As the clock struck 6:45 p.m., an unsettling tension hung in the air, thick with anticipation and dread. As I stood there, the weight of the world pressed upon me, my hands moved methodically, folding the fabric of life itself. To my utter disbelief, the door swung open, revealing an unexpected presence that sent a jolt through my very core. With trembling hands, I dared to unveil it. And then, in a moment that felt like eternity, she froze. It was Daniel. The very name echoed through the air, heavy with unspoken secrets and a tension that crackled like electricity. Who could have anticipated his return? The shadows danced around him, whispering tales of the past, as the world held its breath in anticipation. All alone. Absolutely not, Brielle. In a moment of sheer disbelief, the realization struck like lightning. No car keys! The world around me faded, and panic surged through my veins as I stood frozen in the chaos of the unexpected. What would I do now? Silence reigns, a heavy stillness enveloping the air, where no loud demands dare to break the tension. He appeared gaunt, as if the very shadows had consumed him. Exhausted, as if the weight of the world rests heavily upon my weary shoulders. As if the weight of the world had conspired against him, stealing away the precious hours of rest, leaving him a mere shadow of himself, haunted by sleepless nights. Mother, Oh, how the weight of the world hangs heavy upon my heart as I reach out to you," he uttered in a hushed tone, as if the very air around him held its breath. Silence enveloped the room, a heavy shroud of unspoken words hanging in the air. I stood there, my lips sealed, the weight of my thoughts pressing down like a storm ready to break. Not a single utterance escaped my mouth, leaving the tension to crackle like electricity around us. He cast his gaze downward, his eyes fixated on his feet, as if they held the weight of the world beneath them. They cast me out, leaving me to face the storm alone. Brielle's parents unleashed their scorn upon me, branding me a loser for the catastrophic loss of the house. She vanished into the night, leaving only echoes of her footsteps behind. Yet, I remained silent. He gazed upward, his heart pounding in his chest. Eyes ablaze with a fiery crimson hue. Oh, how I ache for your presence. The void you left behind is a haunting reminder of what once was. I miss you more than words can convey. The silence between us hung like a thick fog, suffocating and oppressive. Oh, the weight of my mistakes bears down upon me like a storm. I know I have faltered, and the shadows of my errors loom large. He pressed on, his voice echoing with an intensity that could shatter glass. But I was utterly lost, grasping at straws in a tempest of uncertainty. It pierced my heart to think you were prioritizing wealth over our bond. My gaze locked onto him, a tempest of emotions swirling within me. In a moment of sheer betrayal, you hurled scalding coffee at me, a fiery tempest of rage and disbelief. He nodded, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air, as if the weight of unspoken words threatened to shatter the fragile moment. Oh, the weight of that knowledge hangs heavy in the air, a truth so profound it sends shivers down the spine. I know. In a moment of sheer disbelief, you bellowed at me, demanding I vacate my very own home. He nodded once more, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air. Oh, the weight of that knowledge hangs heavy in the air, a revelation that pierces through the silence like a dagger. I know. He broke down in tears. Nowhere else to turn, I stand at the precipice of despair, my heart pounding with the weight of uncertainty. The world around me fades, leaving only the echo of my solitude. Where do I go from here? I let out a heavy sigh, the weight of the world pressing down on my chest. Then I stepped outside, the door slamming shut behind me, and I declared, "Once, you possessed a sanctuary, a refuge from the chaos of the world. You set it ablaze, leaving nothing but ashes in your wake. The weight of the world rests upon your shoulders. The time has come for you to rise from the ashes and reconstruct what was lost, in a distant realm, shrouded in mystery and intrigue." And I turned my back, leaving it all behind. Back inside, the air thick with tension. Shadows danced ominously on the walls, whispering secrets of what lay ahead. That night stretched on like an endless abyss, sleep eluding me as shadows danced menacingly around the room. Daniel's face loomed in my thoughts, an unrelenting spectre that haunted every moment. His weary eyes, burdened by the weight of untold stories. His shoulders sagged, burdened by the crushing weight of all that had transpired, as if the very essence of despair had finally ensnared him. He gazed, a storm brewing in his eyes, shattered into a million pieces. Yet, a fragment of my soul continued to murmur in the shadows. So were you. The scars from that fateful day lingered, a haunting reminder etched deep within the soul. The searing sensation lingered, a haunting reminder that even with my eyes shut tight, the flames of memory would not be extinguished. The echoes of his furious shouts reverberated in my mind, a haunting reminder of the chaos that had just unfolded. Hand over the cash or face the consequences, and I escaped. The chains that bound me shattered, and I emerged into the light, breathless and triumphant. But now, he found himself cast out, standing alone in the cold, unforgiving night. I stood frozen before the door, a tempest of uncertainty raging within me as I grappled with the haunting question of what kind of mother I had morphed into. The type who extends forgiveness with alarming swiftness, or the kind who, at long last, discovers the strength to sever the ties that bind them to the endless demands of others. The following morning, I picked up the phone and dialed my sister's number, my heart racing with anticipation. She was the sole light in the tempest, the only one I hadn't cast aside amidst the chaos of it all. He returned, and she gasped, her disbelief palpable. He lingered at your threshold after everything that had transpired. He declared, with a tremor in his voice, that Brielle had abandoned him. I responded, my words barely a whisper. He found himself utterly lost, with no refuge in sight. My sister charged forward without a moment's hesitation. Excellent! Let him lie beneath the cold, unforgiving bridge, consumed by the weight of his actions, haunted by the echoes of his choices. You've paid your dues, and now the chains of obligation have shattered. He holds no power over you any longer. A faint chuckle escaped my lips, a mere whisper of amusement in the heavy air. She was the one who never held back, the razor-sharp tongue that sliced through the silence like a knife through flesh. Yet, a fragment of my soul remained in torment. My heart raced as I confessed, uncertainty clawing at my insides. I don't know what to feel. Feel whatever you want, she declared, her voice trembling with an intensity that pierced the air. But remember, the shadows of your past loom large, a haunting reminder of the trials you endured, and do not allow a mere cascade of tears to unravel the fragile threads of your healing. 2 days slipped away, cloaked in silence and tension. No calls. Silence hangs heavy in the air, a deafening void that screams for attention. No texts. Suddenly, a small envelope crept ominously beneath my door, a harbinger of secrets yet to unfold. Untitled. A void, a silence, an absence that echoes through the corridors of existence. What remains when identity fades into the shadows? A haunting question lingers, unanswered, as the world spins on, oblivious to the emptiness that lies beneath the surface. A void where a return address should be, an abyss of uncertainty lurking in the shadows. Within the confines of the envelope lay a handwritten letter, its ink trembling with the weight of Daniel's emotions. It was but a fleeting moment. Just a handful of lines, barely enough to contain the tempest within. But they struck with a ferocity that left no room for mercy. Oh, how the truth stings. You were right, Mum. It's all about her. Let me unveil the enigma that is me. I transformed into a figure I never imagined I could become. I stand before you, fully aware that forgiveness is a distant dream, a flickering candle in the storm of our shattered past. But I shall reclaim your trust, no matter the cost. Whether it demands a year or stretches into a lifetime, the weight of time looms heavy, a relentless spectre haunting every moment. In a world where dreams collide with harsh realities, I found myself grasping at the fleeting hope of employment, a mere whisper of a chance, for a job that offered nothing but the barest of wages. In the beginning, a whisper of ambition stirs, a flicker of hope igniting the darkness. The journey unfolds, one tiny step at a time, as the world holds its breath, waiting for the spark to ignite a blazing inferno of greatness. In the heart of the city, I find myself seeking refuge within the solemn walls of a church shelter, a sanctuary amidst the chaos that surrounds me. Thank you for pulling me from the depths of despair, for refusing to let me remain shattered and lost in the shadows. My hands shook violently as I clutched the letter, the weight of its words threatening to unravel my very existence. Could this truly be growth? True transformation? Or was it merely a cunning ruse to worm their way back in? Little did I know. The storm was brewing just beyond the horizon. Yet, amidst the chaos, one truth emerged with piercing clarity. Daniel stood at the precipice of despair, the weight of his failures crashing down upon him like a relentless storm. But this time, he wasn't pleading for a key. Only a fleeting opportunity, a glimmer of hope in the shadows of despair. 7 agonizing days stretched before me, each moment a torment of anticipation. With a heart pounding like a drum, I steered my car towards the shelter, the weight of uncertainty heavy in the air. It was a place shrouded in darkness, where shadows whispered secrets and despair lingered in the air. Peeling paint, a haunting reminder of decay and neglect, clings desperately to the walls, whispering secrets of a forgotten past. The roof, a treacherous veil, weeps as the storm rages on, each drop a reminder of the impending chaos within. Shadows dance in the corners, whispering secrets of decay and despair. Yet, it was pristine. The staff welcomed me with an unexpected warmth, their smiles masking the tension that hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. As I uttered the name Daniel Rivers, the man at the desk flashed a smile, a glimmer of something unspoken dancing in his eyes. Oh, the dishwasher, a silent sentinel of chaos, lurking in the shadows of the kitchen, waiting to unleash its fury upon the unsuspecting plates and utensils. What secrets does it hold within its metallic depths? Will it rise to the occasion or betray us all in a torrent of suds and despair? Relentless in pursuit, a tireless warrior of the grind, silence hangs heavy in the air, a palpable tension that grips the very essence of the moment. Forever lingering in the shadows, tirelessly offering aid long after the sun has set. I blinked, my heart racing as the world around me shifted in an instant. Dishwasher. My son, the very one who once mocked me for my frugal ways, now found himself on his knees, scrubbing plates in the dim light of a homeless shelter. A tremor surged through my chest, a harbinger of the chaos to come. Text I demanded to lay my eyes upon him, my heart racing with anticipation. With a swift motion, they directed me toward the shadowy depths of the back kitchen, where secrets lingered in the air like a thick fog. I stepped inside, my heart pounding, the silence wrapping around me like a shroud of impending doom. And there he was, standing before me, a figure cloaked in mystery and tension, sleeves rolled up, ready for the storm that brews ahead. Arms glisten, slick with a treacherous mix of soap and sweat, a battle of cleanliness and chaos unfolding in the air. In the oppressive stillness, trays are wiped down, each stroke echoing like a whispered secret in the shadows. He was oblivious to my presence, but I witnessed him, standing there, a figure cloaked in mystery, his presence sending shivers down my spine. And in a moment that felt like an eternity, I laid eyes on my son once more, a reunion steeped in emotion and unspoken words. Not the wretched, pampered version that Brielle so cunningly crafted. Not the furious boy who insisted on my cash. Only Daniel, labouring under the weight of expectation. Struggling against the tide of despair, a relentless battle unfolds. The weight of the world presses down, yet the spirit clings to the flickering flame of hope. Each moment is a test, a desperate grasp for something more. The journey is fraught with uncertainty, but the heart beats on, defiant and unwavering. Trying, always trying. From the ashes, a new beginning emerges. That fateful day, I chose silence over words, a decision that would echo in the chambers of my mind forever. With a heart pounding in my chest, I placed a small package at the front desk, a silent witness to the unfolding drama of the day. A pristine hoodie, untouched by the chaos of the world. In the dim light of the alley, a pair of sneakers lay abandoned, whispering secrets of their last owner, a tale of triumph and despair etched into the very fabric of their being. A sealed envelope, the crisp edges whispering secrets, concealing a treasure of $40 cash within its confines. And there it was, a note that whispered ominously, "Keep walking forward." Weeks dragged on, each one heavier than the last. Each Friday, I left behind a morsel, a tiny offering, shrouded in mystery and anticipation. My name? Never graced the page with its presence. Never, ever waited around. In a twist of fate, it was a bus card that changed everything, a mere piece of plastic holding the weight of destiny. Another, a bag of groceries, heavy with secrets and untold stories, lies in wait, poised to unleash its contents upon an unsuspecting world. Another, a book of journal prompts, a pen poised for revelation. Then, on that fateful Friday, a letter lay in wait for me at the front desk, its presence heavy with unspoken secrets. It declared, "I know it's you. Thank you for standing by me, despite the countless reasons I provided for you to walk away. Not a single finger has grazed the money. Every single dollar I earn, I clutch tightly, as if it were a precious gem slipping through my fingers. I've escaped the clutches of the shelter list at last. Behold, a tempest brews in the realm of shared living. A roommate situation unfolds, fraught with tension and uncertainty. The moment arrived, my first paycheck has finally graced my hands today. It may seem insignificant, yet it belongs to me, my precious little realm in a vast world. The memory haunts me, a chilling echo of my actions that refuses to fade away. The weight of my actions crushes me. The agony of knowing I caused you pain is a torment I cannot escape. But today, I seek no forgiveness. Hear me now. I will not squander the precious second chance you bestowed upon me, even if your voice fades into silence forever. Tears streamed down my face as I absorbed the words on the page. Not because it mended all wounds, but because it signified a profound transformation blossoming within us both. He was grappling with the weight of accountability, a storm brewing within him, and there I stood, grappling with the tumultuous concept of boundaries, each lesson a thunderous revelation that shook the very core of my being. It was a day like any other, when suddenly, a thunderous knock shattered the silence, echoing through the stillness of my home. With trembling hands, I dared to unveil it, my heart racing in anticipation. It was not Daniel. The revelation hung in the air like a thunderclap, shattering the fragile silence that enveloped the room. It was James, my lawyer, and now, in a twist of fate, my unexpected ally in this tumultuous journey. With a trembling hand, he thrust an envelope into my grasp, the weight of its contents heavy with unspoken secrets. Settlement has been achieved, the final curtain drawn on a tumultuous journey. My eyebrows shot up, a silent question hanging in the air, thick with tension. In a moment that sent shockwaves through the air, Daniel made the fateful decision to relinquish all claims to the house, sealing his fate with a single stroke of the pen. Unquestionably, there is no contest. Silence reigns, a void where demands once echoed, leaving only the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. My breath was stolen away. There was no resistance. Only my question hung in the air. None. He declared, with a voice trembling on the edge of revelation, that it was never his to claim from the very start. I sank into the chair, each movement deliberate, as if the weight of the world pressed down upon me. What a twist! I never saw that coming. James offered me a fleeting smile, a mere whisper of warmth in the cold shadows of uncertainty. He demanded, with an urgency that sent shivers down our spines, that we erase his name from your emergency contact forms, insurance accounts, and any other documents that tethered him to your legal entanglements. I swallowed hard, the weight of the moment crashing down upon me like a tidal wave of dread. How utterly responsible. James nodded, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air, as if the weight of unspoken words threatened to shatter the fragile moment. It commands respect. And so it was. A moment suspended in time, fraught with tension and unspoken truths. In that suffocating silence, Daniel offered a confession, one that pierced through the air like a dagger. It was an unspoken promise, a gesture more profound than any bouquet or ringing phone could convey. I felt the weight of it, heavy and undeniable, resonating deep within my soul. Months slipped by, and then, like a bolt from the blue, my phone rang. An unknown number flashed ominously on the screen. As I picked up the phone, a serene yet haunting voice of a woman enveloped me, sending shivers down my spine. Is this the infamous Mrs. Rivers I speak to? Indeed. Behold, the name is Emma. I stand amidst the bustling chaos of Hope Counter Cafe, right in the heart of downtown. Do you know the enigmatic Daniel Rivers? I halted, the weight of the moment crashing down upon me. Indeed, he is my son. I'm his supervisor, she declared, her voice laced with an unsettling calmness that sent shivers down the spine. Listen closely, for what I am about to reveal is of utmost importance. Today, we made the monumental decision to elevate him to new heights. He has been tirelessly guiding the fresh recruits, sacrificing his evenings, and stepping into the role of a leader with unwavering resolve. In a stunning turn of events, we have decided to grant him a raise. I blinked rapidly, fighting against the surge of tears threatening to spill over. I thought a mother might want to know, she whispered, her voice trembling with an unspoken weight. A smile crept across my face, a flicker of light in the shadows of uncertainty. Indeed, a mother, without a doubt, does. Just a week had passed, and there he was, Daniel, pounding on my door once more, the air thick with unspoken tension. With no expectations weighing heavy on my heart, I step into the unknown, ready for just a visit, a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of life. I beckoned him inside, the air thick with unspoken tension. He sat at the kitchen table, his eyes flickering like flames in a tempest, darting around the room with a frantic urgency that spoke of unspoken fears. "I didn't know if you'd open the door," he said, his voice trembling with uncertainty, the weight of unspoken words hanging heavy in the air. With a heart racing and breath caught in my throat, I dared to utter, "I didn't know if you'd dare to knock again." We shared a laugh, a fleeting moment of mirth, but it lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. With a swift, deliberate motion, he reached into his bag, the air thick with anticipation, as if the very fabric of reality held its breath, waiting for the revelation that was about to unfold. It was the ancient mug, a relic of forgotten times, holding secrets of the past within its cracked surface, the one he obliterated in a moment of fury when he hurled that scalding coffee at me. But now, it lay before us, a fragile mosaic, painstakingly reassembled, each shard a testament to its tumultuous past, with a meticulous touch, as if every moment was savoured, every action deliberate. A haunting sense of anticipation hung in the air. "I found the pieces," he declared, his voice trembling with a mix of triumph and despair. I held on to them, though I can't fathom the reason why. I gazed at it, my heart pounding in my chest. The crack remained visible, a haunting reminder. Yet it clung together, defying the inevitable collapse. "It still works," I whispered, the weight of the words hanging in the air like a storm about to break. Daniel's head bobbed in reluctant agreement, a storm brewing behind his eyes. "Could it be that you desire to join our ranks, perhaps?" My gaze lingered on him, a heavy silence stretching between us, thick with unspoken words and electric tension. In a moment, thick with uncertainty, I confessed, "I don't know yet." And he nodded once more, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air. Unbelievably fair. That fateful night, after Daniel's departure, I found myself ensnared at the kitchen table, lost in a tempest of thoughts for what felt like an eternity. The shattered remnants of the mug, hastily glued together, loomed ominously before me, a haunting reminder of fragility and despair. It was far from perfect. Every crack was laid bare, a testament to the chaos that had unfolded. The handle, oh, it was slightly crooked, a silent testament to the chaos that lurked just beneath the surface. There were delicate fractures, the ceramic shattered and painstakingly reassembled, a fragile puzzle clinging to its last breath. But lo and behold, when I poured the tea into it, not a single drop betrayed its presence. It clung on, defying the odds. And perhaps that is the very essence of healing itself. It's not about obliterating the past, but what about clinging to the remnants that remain? And yet, here I remain, unyielding and defiant. Just days later, a message from Daniel pierced through the silence, shattering the calm with its unexpected arrival. "May I dare to ask if I could grace your presence next Sunday? All I crave is a moment to speak." Pressure? None at all. Silence hung in the air, heavy and charged, as I hesitated, my heart racing with the weight of unspoken words. In the depths of my mind, a tempest brewed. I pondered, weighed, and wrestled with the shadows of my thoughts. Allow myself to linger in the depths of the question. Allow the weight of uncertainty to wash over me. And then, a tiny spark of hope ignited in the darkness. As dawn broke, I found myself compelled to respond. "Very well. Ah, Sunday. The day that looms like a spectre, casting shadows over the week past and the one yet to come." As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting long shadows across the land, the afternoon unfolded with an air of suspense and anticipation. Sunday arrived with a thunderous crash, leaving no room for hesitation. He burst onto the scene, precisely as the clock struck the hour. Pristine fabric, untouched by the chaos of the world. Hair, once flowing and untamed, now lies shorn, a stark testament to change and transformation. His eyes darted, a tempest of anxiety swirling within, reminiscent of a young boy, heart-pounding, arriving at school clutching the long-awaited homework he had finally completed. In a moment of quiet desperation, I summoned the courage to brew a cup of tea. It is not coffee. In a moment thick with unspoken tension, we found ourselves bound by a mutual, unyielding pact to steer clear of that perilous path. We found ourselves ensnared in the living room, the air thick with unspoken tension. Silence hung in the air, thick and suffocating, as he remained mute for what felt like an eternity. Neither did I. At last, he dramatically extracted a small notepad from the depths of his jacket, the air thick with anticipation. With trembling hands, I inscribed the words that burned within me, desperate to escape the confines of silence. So I don't ruin everything. I arched an eyebrow, a silent storm brewing within me. Very well. With trembling hands, he pried it open, the air thick with anticipation. Behold, the pinnacle of existence. Number 1. He started with a tremor in his voice, the air thick with tension. How could I have been so blind? The weight of my mistake crashes down upon me like a thunderous storm, leaving nothing but chaos in its wake. I was wrong, and the truth cuts deeper than any blade. Fury coursed through my veins, a tempest of rage ready to erupt, unbelievably self-important and utterly selfish. In the depths of my despair, I cast the shadows of my failures upon you, for it was far simpler to point the finger than to confront the haunting truth within myself. I nodded, the weight of the moment crashing down like thunder in the silence. Yet, silence reigned supreme. Behold, the second contender emerges from the shadows. Brielle was not the puppet master in this twisted tale. I was the one who danced to the haunting melody of my own choices. She ignited the darkest corners of my soul, without a doubt. But those parts belonged to me. In a moment of reckless abandon, I cast aside your worth and surrendered to her voice, drowning in the chaos of my choice. A lump surged in my throat, a harbinger of the turmoil brewing within. Behold, the third revelation, a moment that trembles on the edge of anticipation. Oh, the pain I inflicted upon you runs deeper than mere flesh wounds. I shattered your trust, leaving you feeling like a mere pawn in my game. Forsaken. And that is a betrayal no son should ever inflict upon his mother. With a heavy heart, he slammed the notebook shut, the finality echoing in the silence that followed. And then there was number 4. I refused to even consider the thought of moving back in. Forgiveness is not on the table today, not even a whisper of it. At long last, the veil has been lifted, and I can finally see it all laid bare before me. Everything, every last piece of it, and I am utterly profoundly sorry. The room was a haunting silence, thick with tension, as if the very air held its breath, waiting for the inevitable storm to break. My gaze locked onto him, a tempest of emotions swirling within me. My son, the very essence of my heart, a tempest of emotions swirling around him, a story yet to unfold in the shadows of fate. Time has passed, and the years have etched their stories upon me. Not merely in the passage of years, but in the weight of responsibility. You wounded me, I whispered, my voice trembling with the weight of unspoken anguish, in the most excruciating way imaginable. I know, he breathed, his voice barely a tremor in the charged air. You abandoned me, searing my flesh and shattering my soul, and I was left to reconstruct the very fabric of my existence, utterly alone. It is you. He nodded, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears, a storm of emotions brewing within him. In the depths of comprehension, a revelation unfolds. My gaze fell upon the mug that sat ominously between us, a silent witness to the tension brewing in the air. Do you see this? I exclaimed, my finger trembling as it directed their gaze to the object of my fervent attention. It's shattered, yet it perseveres. He nodded. a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air, as if the weight of unspoken words threatened to shatter the fragile moment. I cast a glance over my shoulder, my heart racing as our eyes met in a moment charged with unspoken tension. Perhaps, just perhaps, we dare to tread the same treacherous path. From that fateful day onward, our destinies intertwined as we gathered every Sunday, a ritual steeped in anticipation and unspoken secrets. In the beginning, it was merely tea and the faintest whispers of small talk, a fragile veil over the brewing tension beneath. Then, the conversations plunged into the abyss of depth. He revealed the secrets of his job to me, a tale woven with ambition and despair, his new domain, a realm of secrets and shadows, his grand scheme to embark on the treacherous journey of opening a savings account. With a heavy heart, I revealed to him the existence of my support group, a sanctuary for the weary souls seeking solace in shared struggles. Behold, a new passion ignites within me painting. A canvas awaits, trembling with anticipation as colours collide and emotions spill forth. Each stroke is a revelation, a tempest of creativity unleashed. What wonders shall emerge from this newfound obsession? And the fragile peace I had begun to feel once more, shattered like glass in an unforgiving storm. It was far from perfect. Weeks of torment unfolded, each day a relentless battle against despair. Some visits were fleeting, a mere whisper in the grand tapestry of time. On certain days, the silence crept back in, heavy and suffocating. Yet, against all odds, we continued to arrive, unwavering in our resolve. On a fateful Sunday, he posed the question that hung in the air like a storm cloud. Would you ever dare to see where I live? My heart raced, caught in a tempest of uncertainty. Is it pure? Is it free from the taint of darkness? The answer hangs in the air, heavy with anticipation. I inquired, a sly grin dancing upon my lips. He let out a chilling laugh, echoing through the silence like a thunderclap, sending shivers down spines and igniting a storm of uncertainty in the air. In a whirlwind of chaos, I wielded the vacuum like a warrior, battling the dust and debris not once but twice, just to ensure victory over the relentless mess. His apartment loomed small, a mere shadow of what one might call a home. One solitary bedroom, cloaked in shadows and secrets. Shattered panes, a haunting reminder of chaos unleashed. A faucet, its relentless squeak echoing through the silence, a haunting reminder of the chaos lurking beneath the surface. Yet, it belonged to him. Freshly laundered bedsheets, crisp and inviting, whisper promises of comfort and serenity, beckoning you to surrender to their embrace. A calendar, its pages stained with the ink of impending doom, each bill marked like a ticking time bomb, ready to explode into chaos at any moment. A stark whiteboard, its surface gleaming under the harsh light, bears the weight of his meticulously crafted work schedule, a silent testament to the chaos that looms just beyond its borders. I know it's not much, he confessed, his voice trembling with the weight of unspoken truths. I cast my gaze about, the air thick with tension. No, I said, my voice trembling with the weight of the moment. It's something an enigma wrapped in shadows, a whisper of fate lurking just beyond the veil of the ordinary. Something undeniably real, a truth that pierces through the veil of illusion. On the table, a new coffee mug sat, its presence a silent herald of change, waiting to unveil the secrets it held within its ceramic embrace. This one, unyielding. Yet there it lingered, hauntingly close to the shattered relic he had painstakingly mended. He clutched it tightly, refusing to let it slip away into oblivion. I keep it to remind myself, he declared, his voice trembling with intensity, of the person I dread to see rise from the ashes of my past. Weeks morphed into agonizing months, each day dragging on like a relentless storm cloud looming overhead. Once more, I found myself teetering on the precipice of trust, daring to believe in him again. With agonizing slowness, with a trembling hand, I handed him the spare key, my voice barely a whisper as I warned him, "This is not for living." The weight of my words hung in the air, thick with unspoken tension. "Just in case," I declared, my voice trembling with the weight of unspoken fears. Only in the direst of moments, when chaos reigns and the stakes are at their highest, do we summon the call for emergencies. With a sly grin, he uttered, "Fair enough." The air crackled with unspoken tension, a moment suspended in time. He never dared to misuse it. On that fateful day he appeared, gripping a folded paper as if it held the weight of the world. "I have settled the hospital bill for your burn treatment," he declared, his voice heavy with unspoken emotions. I blinked, my heart racing as the world around me shifted in an instant. "What?" I reached out to the clinic, my heart pounding with anticipation. At last, the balance has been achieved. Payments dispatched weekly, a relentless rhythm of financial obligation echoing through the corridors of time. It took an eternity, a suspenseful wait that felt like the world was holding its breath. I gazed at the paper, my heart racing, as if it held the secrets of the universe within its folds. Paid in full. The finality of the transaction echoes through the air, a dramatic conclusion to a long and tumultuous journey. The weight of the moment hangs heavy, as if the universe itself holds its breath, waiting for the next act to unfold. It was never merely about the money. It was a monumental struggle, a battle against the very fabric of existence. Evidence that his intentions were genuine. As the night deepened, I found myself alone on the porch, the shadows creeping closer, enveloping me in an eerie embrace. The wind whispered gently, a deceptive caress that belied the storm brewing just beyond the horizon. The sky loomed above, an expanse of unblemished blue, a deceptive calm before the storm of chaos that was about to unfold. And I breathed my secrets into the void, a haunting echo of my soul's deepest yearnings. Perhaps, just perhaps, my son is still with me, defying the very fabric of despair that threatened to consume my soul. Perhaps I have finally let go of the fragment of him that was destined to shatter. Thus, he could rise from the ashes of his former self, and for the first time in an eternity, the air crackled with anticipation. I was consumed by it. Spring crept in with a hesitant breath that year, as if the world held its breath in anticipation, waiting for the warmth to break the icy grip of winter. The frigid air receded, one defiant gust at a time, as if the very elements were grappling with the art of forgiveness. Daniel and I were a force to be reckoned with, an unstoppable duo, a tempest of passion and rivalry that left everyone in our wake gasping for breath. Far from flawless, we are not the echoes of our former selves. But something unprecedented, something that twists the very fabric of reality, something fraught with tension, excruciatingly slow, yet achingly real. Every Sunday, without fail, his voice pierced through the silence, a haunting reminder of what once was. There were moments, fleeting yet intense, when he would appear at my door, shattering the silence of my solitude. There were moments, dark and twisted, when I found myself drawn to his apartment, a place where shadows danced and secrets whispered. In the dim light of a cafe, where shadows danced and secrets whispered, we found ourselves drawn together, halfway between our worlds, caught in a moment that felt both fleeting and eternal. We found ourselves laughing once more, the echoes of our laughter piercing through the heavy silence that had once enveloped us. Yet, we never donned the masks of denial, for the shadows of the past loom large, undeniable and haunting. It lingered, haunting us, a ghost of our past that refused to be forgotten. We have now mastered the art of navigating it with an elegance that defies the chaos surrounding us. On a fateful Sunday, he arrived, gripping a mysterious box tightly in his hands, the air thick with anticipation. His eyes darted, a storm of anxiety brewing beneath the surface. The kind of nervous that grips you when the air is thick with unspoken words, and the weight of anticipation hangs heavy in the silence, as if the very universe is holding its breath for the revelation that could change everything. "Text, I have something for you," he declared, his voice dripping with intrigue. I arched an eyebrow, a silent question hanging in the air, thick with tension. "Another mug? I swear, this is the last straw." He let out a laugh, a sound that echoed with unexpected intensity, reverberating through the silence like a thunderclap in the night. It's not just a mug, it's a vessel of betrayal, a facade of normalcy hiding the chaos within. With trembling hands, he lifted the lid of the box, revealing secrets long buried and shadows that danced in the dim light. Within the confines of the frame lay a small canvas painting, a silent witness to untold stories and hidden emotions waiting to be unveiled. It was simple, yet beneath the surface, a tempest brewed, ready to unleash chaos at any moment. Gentle whispers of vulnerability linger in the air, a fragile essence that captivates the heart. As the first light of dawn broke through the horizon, a fiery explosion of colours ignited the sky, casting an ethereal glow that whispered secrets of the night. Shadows fled, and the world held its breath, poised on the edge of a new beginning, where hope and despair danced in a delicate balance. The sun, a blazing orb of destiny, rose with a fierce determination, heralding the chaos and beauty of a day yet to unfold. Far from flawless, he had unmistakably poured his soul into that canvas, each brushstroke a testament to his fervent passion. In a moment of bold decision, I stepped into the realm of a community class. They commanded us to create a masterpiece that embodies the essence of healing. He averted his gaze, a flicker of shyness dancing in his eyes. It was a morning like no other, the air thick with tension as I dared to step back into the chaos of your world. The tea! Oh, the scandalous brew that brews beneath the surface, simmering with secrets and whispers of betrayal. What dark revelations lie within that steaming cup? The very essence of intrigue, waiting to spill over and shatter the calm. The blinding light. It pierces through the darkness, illuminating secrets long buried and truths too painful to confront. What lies beyond its glare? A revelation, a reckoning. The air crackles with tension as shadows retreat in fear, leaving only the stark reality of what must be faced. Will you dare to step into its unforgiving embrace? The deafening silence hung in the air, thick and suffocating, as if the world itself held its breath, waiting for the storm to break. Once more, the dawn broke, piercing through the remnants of a night that seemed to stretch into eternity. My throat constricted, a vice of dread tightening its grip. My fingers brushed the canvas, a whisper of connection, a moment suspended in time. "Text! I love it!" I exclaimed, my voice trembling with fervour, and I meant every word of it. Not for its beauty, oh no. Yet, it was all due to his relentless struggle. His words hung in the air, a haunting reminder of the past, echoing with the weight of unforgotten deeds. And here I stand, battling the shadows, striving to rise above to become something greater. Weeks slipped by like shadows in the night, and then, with a flourish of fate, he beckoned me to a staff event at the cafe where he toiled. "I'm getting recognised for Employee of the Quarter," he declared, a nervous hand scratching the back of his neck, the weight of the moment hanging heavy in the air. "It would be a breath of fresh air if you graced us with your presence. There's no weight upon your shoulders." Clad in the haunting blue sweater he gifted me on that fateful Mother's Day, a mere child of 13, I stepped into the room, the fabric whispering secrets of our past. As I stepped through the door, the manager's gaze locked onto me, and with a dramatic flourish, he exclaimed, "Ah, you must be Daniel's mum." And the pride in her voice struck me like a thunderclap, forcing me to blink rapidly, fighting against the tide of tears threatening to spill over. He stood before his co-workers, the air thick with anticipation, apron pristine, posture radiating confidence. With a humble smile that masked the storm within, he accepted the certificate, a moment suspended in time, fraught with unspoken tension. His gaze pierced through the dimly lit room, locking onto me with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. Our gazes collided with an intensity that could ignite 1,000 storms. He nodded, a single, silent acknowledgement that echoed with unspoken weight. I nodded back, a silent agreement hanging heavy in the air, charged with unspoken tension. No grandiloquent oration. There is no moment of sheer intensity. In the hushed shadows of their tumultuous past, a vow lingered, a fragile bond forged in the fires of heartbreak and rebirth, echoing the whispers of two souls entwined in a dance of destruction and redemption. As we made our exit, we stumbled upon the coffee machine, a silent sentinel of our fleeting moments. With a sly grin, he gestured dramatically towards it, as if unveiling a dark secret hidden in the shadows. "Do you still loathe that wretched stench?" I nodded, the weight of the moment crashing down upon me like a tidal wave, each heartbeat echoing the gravity of my decision. "It remains unbearable." He let out a chilling laugh, echoing through the silence like a thunderclap in the dead of night. Likewise, the sentiment echoes in the shadows of our shared experience. Months dragged on, each one heavier than the last, a relentless march through the shadows of time. Our relationship morphed into a fragile yet enduring tapestry, woven with threads of tenderness and resilience. In a moment that felt like a scene from a gripping tale, he stepped into my life, a hero in disguise, offering his hand to carry the burdens of my groceries. In a moment fraught with tension, I stepped in to assist him with the intricate dance of budgeting. He beckoned me to a humble church service, a seemingly innocuous invitation that would unravel into a tapestry of unexpected revelations. In a twist of fate, I found myself there, against all odds. And then, on that fateful Sunday, we found ourselves on the porch, the air thick with tension, each sip of tea a moment suspended in time. The sky blazed with a fierce golden hue. In the haunting stillness, the distant melody of birds pierced the air, and with a sudden intensity, Daniel exclaimed, "You know what I realized?" "What?" "I didn't merely lose you that fateful day. I lost a part of my very soul. I lost myself in the depths of despair. But I believe. I have unearthed my true self once more." I gazed at him, my heart pounding, the air thick with unspoken tension. His face, a mask of tranquility, belied the storm brewing within. His hands, steady as a rock, held secrets that could shatter the very fabric of reality. At last he sat there, a statue of stillness, as guilt loomed like a dark shadow, yet failed to consume him whole. And I declared with a heart pounding in my chest, "I believe I have discovered you once more." Silence enveloped us, a heavy shroud of unspoken words and unshared thoughts. Then he leaned forward, a smile creeping across his face, as if the very air crackled with unspoken tension. "Do you still possess that mug?" I gestured dramatically towards the windowsill, a silent accusation hanging in the air. There it stood, a haunting presence in the shadows. The shattered mug, once a vessel of warmth, now brims with untamed wildflowers, a haunting beauty rising from the ruins. Still shattered, clinging on, with a fierce determination that defies the odds, as if we were mirrors reflecting the same haunting truth.